views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. This show today, what we're doing, will be on Zoom, and we're doing it with Madeline Fong. She is an artiste and all that, beautiful painter. Hello, Madeline. Good morning.
Good morning, Patty. Thank you for having me on.
You're a very sweet person. I like having you on as a guest.
Well, I enjoy being here.
Now, you are a painter.
Yes. So I started painting at age 9, and I've just continued it because I love it so much.
Why did you start painting?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to try out different hobbies. And so in school, we did have art class, and I just enjoyed it. So I started doing it as an extracurricular activity. And I've just continued to enjoy doing that and also applying it to different hobbies. So for example, I started a cause where I'm using my artwork to raise funds for local animal nonprofits.
Around here in Fort Wayne?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's called A Second Chance. And I started it in the 7th grade, near the end of 7th grade. And that first year, I actually raised $2,000.
Wow.
And yeah, I donated that all to the Allen County Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or the SPCA. And the second year, I actually raised $1,500 for the Humane Organization for the Prevention of Euthanasia for Animals, or Hope for Animals, here in Fort Wayne as well.
Finally, they have veterinarians taking care of the animals, not putting them to sleep if no one wanted them.
Exactly.
I never did like when they put them down, as they say, It always made me sad. So, how old are you now?
I just turned 16 in September of this year.
Sweet 16.
Thank you.
Did you have a party?
No, I didn't, but I did get to just enjoy my birthday with my family here.
Now, you have, welcome, a happy birthday.
Thanks.
You have paintings that you have begun when you were 9?
Yes, I do. I can show you a few here. I printed them on blank note cards, and those are some of the things that I've been selling through A Second Chance.
Yeah. So, can I see a picture or two that you began with?
Just a few of them. Right here
My favorite
is a barred snowy owl.
I got that.
Wow.
Do you
And
have,
then,
do you have a lot of animals or animate objects or still pictures or?
yeah, so I started out mainly with just animals and landscapes, but now I'm trying to branch out into portraits and also still lives, while also putting some meaning behind them and trying to really express something through my work.
When you say portraits of human beings?
Yes.
Let's see.
And then these are just a few of the other original designs on my note cards. So I have a charcoal raccoon, and then this is like a landscape I've talked about.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
How long did it take to do pictures like that? An hour, 2 days, what?
Um, it took a couple of hours, mainly because in the beginning, I was still trying to learn the techniques and also um, keep details that I wanted to make sure that the picture came out how I wanted it to be.
Who taught you to paint, draw, everything?
Well, I owe a lot of my current state to my parents, obviously, because they've supported me so much through my journey, and also to all of the art teachers that have helped me along the way because I've had a lot of great mentors.
When you were starting to paint, what was your favorite genre, style of painting?
Um, I suppose my favorite style was realistic because that's what I was used to seeing, and I just wanted to learn the skills in how to paint very detailed and how to portray something that looks exactly like a photo. But right now, I also want to try to go towards the more abstract and also learn how to paint and draw more expressively.
You're very creative, and I love your work.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Terry Dorn says hi.
Well, I say hi back to him.
Yeah, you do murals?
I have not done any murals, but I would love to, try that out.
So you're going into portraits now.
Hmm. Yeah.
A picture of a person that you have drawn or painted, or
So I actually started out doing self-portraits because that's what we were working on at school. And also, I just wanted to use my own reference photos. But lately, I've been trying to branch out to also do portraits of people I know and just photos that really move me.
so you take a picture of them and then you paint it from that, or what?
Yes. Yeah. I always use reference photos, and I would like to try to to not depend on the photo as much and also try to use things from my own imagination.
You got a great one. So with horses and that, to get the exact size of each, the legs and the head and all
Yeah.
of this. How do you do that to make sure that it looks equal, small yet the way it should look in a
Mhm.
pen?
So what I found helpful is to think less about what I'm actually painting or drawing and more about the form of it and the shape of it. So you're you're striving for it less to be, a tree and more to achieve the shapes and the proportions that you see in the photo or in real life.
He's still taking lessons to do other things, or what?
Well, right now with social distancing and and COVID, I found it harder um, to do more regular lessons. So this past summer, I actually signed up for a few virtual workshops instead of traveling somewhere.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you're kind of tough to do that virtually, not hands-on, with the person showing you how to do it. But you,
Yeah, there are some setbacks, but I actually enjoy the virtual environment for workshops a lot because it allows me the opportunity to take workshops in states that normally I wouldn't be able to travel to, or for teachers that normally have a set amount of workshops to reach a wider audience. And also because I myself tend to paint a bit slower, I like to have a format in which I can, look back at what the teacher was saying and review the video.
so you can replay it all the time just to get the right. Info. Oh, that's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Repeat. What do you like to get into basically besides portraits for the future?
Um, well, I'm also experimenting with mixed media and subjects that I normally wouldn't, especially since I'm taking art class at my high school right now. So
Mhm.
it's really pushing me to do things that I normally wouldn't do. So, for example, we recently had a project um, about portraying skeletons, and so I decided to do a bird skeleton because I remember seeing a photo in a magazine a while back about how albatrosses in often consume a lot of plastics from the ocean, and when they die from that, uh, people can see all the plastic that has been left in their stomachs and that caused them to eventually pass away. So I wanted to really send the message of the human impact on our environment through a project that has a simple prompt such as a skeleton.
So that's why you're doing skeletons.
Yeah, that was just one of my projects.
Mankind can get pretty bad on animals and their own selves, can't they?
Yeah.
We're here to be hope or like a light to tell people, be more humane, think more.
Hmm.
Don't throw away stuff that can harm the environment as well as the animals,
Yeah, that's a
wild or,
perfect way to say it.
wild or domestic,
Mhm.
Did you pictures of farm animals besides horses?
Well, a lot of the time in my sketchbook, I like to uh, kind of experiment with drawing and painting different subjects. So when my family did visit a farm a while back, I took a lot of reference photos to paint like cows and pigs and chickens, but I never actually got to the point where I could turn that into a final painting or drawing.
No, you should. 'Cause animals, farm animals, are not being treated right in some
Yeah,
areas. They should,
yeah.
that should be shown. It's, you can sell it for the farm animals, getting help for them and all. That's
Yeah,
a
that's a great point.
great point. Who's teaching you now? Is this, you're learning on your own?
Well, right now, as I said, I'm actually taking
Very
a
good.
drawing class in school with Mrs. Jones at Homestead.
You're going to school still? Some
Yes.
people. Oh, you're going to school physically.
Well, at Homestead, so there's three options. There's completely virtual,
Mhm.
there's real-time virtual, and there's in-person. And I chose to do the in-person just because I felt that I could learn better in the school environment and also because I liked to have that in-person interaction while obviously still social distancing and taking all the safety measures. Yeah,
Right.
and everyone is required to wear a mask and be social distance when possible.
You'll be showing. Let's talk about the pictures that you'll be showing us. So how do
Sure.
okay, what's it called, the picture?
Okay, so I'll start with the first slide.
Hmm.
And so that one was actually also started at school. And it was just an assignment where we had to do a cardboard portrait.
Okay.
And I decided to portray this farmer in front of his field.
Mm.
And I called it Amazing Grace.
Oh,
Um, yeah.
love it.
And so what I started out with is I did a charcoal drawing and then I just started layering the base colors and then adding the details on after that. And for the background, I really tried to make it more abstract to keep the focus on the subject.
Hmm. Oh. So the second slide.
Sure, yeah. So the second slide is another project I started at school where we had to do a painting on denim. And so I wanted to incorporate a bit of mixed media in there.
Mhm.
So what I chose to do was magnolias, because we have a magnolia tree out in our own backyard that has been there since we moved here. So I just wanted to kind of do something that was more personal to me. And the mixed media part of it was actually, if uh, you look closely, the branches are made out of painted pencil pieces just to give it some depth.
Oh my goodness. I love magnolia. My mom, before she passed away, she wanted a magnolia tree in the yard, so we did. We put it there. It's very, very personal. And I'm glad you mentioned that bush, that tree, magnolia tree. Do you do Japanese or Chinese art, Sumii?
So I actually want to start experimenting with the rice paper painting and brushwork, but I would I would need to learn the techniques of the calligraphy first, and I know that it's a very delicate process, so I definitely want to get started on that.
I took a course in
Really?
the iris. It's just the way you hold the brush. It's completely different on rice paper or parchment, whatever.
Hmm.
So what's the third picture?
Okay, so the third one is actually an entirely different medium, and it's felted wool.
Mm.
And I learned this from a local artist, Nancy Drummond, who does also weaving as well as this felted wool art. And what the process was laying down the wool, and
Mm.
then you felt it, and then you add details with needle felting.
Mm.
So it's a very interesting process, and I loved learning something new. And I actually started out, this was my first piece. It was a landscape in which I combined two reference photos from one of our trips. So I really love the outcome and how the textures can just combine and create this really beautiful piece from a material you never would think could be used to create a painting.
Sure, anything can be used.
Yeah.
Anything, sculptures, painting, anything.
Hmm.
So what's the next one?
Okay. So the next one is actually my second felted wool piece,
Mm-hmm.
and I followed the same process, but I just wanted to try a different subject matter. So I chose this photo of one of our dog's eyes that I took. And I just,
What it was, an eye.
yeah, and I just edited it to add more colors in and just make it a little bit more whimsical. And I just followed the same process. And I actually, in this one, added a little bit of more curly textured sheep wool just to give it that kind of fur look.
Around the eye.
Yeah.
Oh, because I thought, gee, either that's a universe or an eye.
It's all in the interpretation, I guess.
That's cool.
Thank you.
And another one? Just the
Okay.
last one, the next one?
Yep. And then this is the last one. Again, a felted wool piece. And I was actually wanting to create something that commemorated our frontline fighters during this pandemic. So I decided to do a photo of a nurse
Mm.
who was in all the medical protection, personal protection, and I just wanted to kind of have a subject who a lot of people can relate to and who can honor in this time.
I have deep respect for the first responders and all the people who work for the public while this pandemic is going on.
For sure. Yeah.
It's a bad virus, And I'm praying for our world to see if we can get through this. There's always hope at the end of the tunnel, and that's how I see it. We're not alone.
Mhm. And I think a great show of this unity is the art that's come out of this pandemic or during this pandemic, and the creativity that's really kept people going.
I wrote a song called the Corona Song, and Claire Bates, who is a wonderful singer, sang it for me. She realigned the lyrics, so to speak, composed it, recomposed. But I wrote the basic lyrics, and she sang it.
Yeah, I remember hearing that during the River Drums Festival. So I really loved hearing just something that came out of
Feeling.
yeah, out of feeling.
So what are your plans for this season, Christmas and all that?
Yeah, so actually this year we're going to have a longer winter break from school, so I'm planning to definitely use that time to continue working on my art and trying new things out, trying new media, trying new processes and techniques. And I'm just really looking forward to continuing to create.
Do you create? Will you be creating before the Christmas time to sell your greeting cards for Christmas?
Yeah, so I'll definitely be working on making new designs. And as always, people can find my designs on my Etsy shop. And I will continue trying to put new things out there.
Because I remember I got the teapot, whatever that is, I forget, that from you, the little blue, looks like it's Dutch type of design of a teapot, whatever, coffee. And as well as the bar, BARR owl.
Yeah, the snowy owl.
Oh yeah. And the last one I got was a turtle.
Mhm.
And do
Yeah,
you do more of those? Or are you going to make more? Or-
yeah. So when people order from my Etsy shop, I will send it to them within a week, and shipping's included. So everything is ready to go, and everything arrives promptly.
So what is the website?
It's etsy.com
Mhm.
/shop/a second chance FW.
So that says Fort Wayne.
Yes.
Because I noticed that a lot of other websites, they're a second chance, but you don't have FW. You gotta remember to put the FW behind that,
Hmm.
because you won't get to see your beautiful work.
Yes.
And you do big pictures and take imprints.
Hmm. Yeah. So everything featured on my website is my own original artwork,
Mhm.
and I sell prints and greeting cards. And if people are interested, I will sell the originals as well.
Cool beans.
Oh, and I just wanted to share a few of the artworks that I did during the workshops.
Yes.
So these are watercolor pieces that are more photorealistic, and they are also still lives. So this first piece is actually a purple iris in a glass bowl. It's a bit bigger, but hopefully I can fit it in the frame.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you. This was a piece that I did during a Soon Warren workshop this past summer. So I really enjoyed it, and I loved learning how to do her techniques and also her process. And I actually did 4 pieces during that workshop.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one.
Big one.
Sorry, I said 4. I meant 3. This one's a bit smaller. It's actually a strawberry.
Yeah.
Yes.
My favorite. That's my downfall. That looks juicy. I want some of that.
And then this one I actually did during a Deb Ward workshop.
Who,
So
what?
this is a different workshop.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've always
It's-
wanted to have a tray with all that. You know, ever since I was a little girl, to have a silver key combination.
Yeah.
But
It's a very different subject matter than I'm used to, but I just really enjoyed the process.
so you never did anything live. Because it won't stay put, but you know, like a human being, do they pose for you or you just have to have the picture?
Yeah, so for live portraits, I would love to try that out. I haven't yet, but that's something that's still on my bucket list to do.
Well, you got so much time on your hands, girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're young. Oh wow. I'm happy that you are 16. You're in the teens, girl.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'll get in touch with you again, dear Madeline Fong. This is the end of our show.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed being here and I enjoyed catching up with you.
Patty Hunter, Patty's Page. Thank you, Madeline, for being on my show. You're a very sweet lady and very, very artistic, you know, creative. So we'll see you next week, and God bless.
Great. Thank you again.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my love. God is with us always for the rest of our lives.